Okay, everybody, welcome back to Overshot, a paintball podcast. Before I get into all the stuff I have for you, first of all, with this being the first episode post World Cup, I hope everybody was safe in the hurricane. I hope everybody, no injuries, no personal damage to property or anything like that. And the second thing I got to say before I get started with my little spiel here is a happy Thanksgiving to everybody with the holiday seasons coming around. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that they're spending some time with their families. And with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time for me to talk about Designer Sports, man. They have been with us from the beginning, and they truly help us out so much. We cannot be more thankful that they support the podcast. If you want anything screen printed, this is something new that they're doing. I think it's really cool. They got a deal. I think it's like 20 shirts for like $200 or something like that. And you can get your team custom shirts. I believe that's the price. I'm not 100%. Go to the website, diezendasports.com to confirm that. And then if you do like that and you like their version 3 joggers that just came out, or you want to get your jerseys through them for your team, use code Overshot when you check out and you'll get 10% off all that kind of stuff. They're truly great. Their grinder gloves are fantastic too. If you're someone who plays in gloves, I have recently jumped into those waters after playing for almost a decade now. I'm finally a glove guy, and I am open for all the ridicule. So, but if you want to get yourself a pair, again, the website is diezendasports.com, and the code is Overshot, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. The next bit of business I got to tell you about are the sweet dudes at Volcano. Volcano is the best gear bag on this planet, man, and I truly mean that. I use it every time I go play. It is perfect size for your average baller. I carry 2 setups in mine, and I have enough. If you need to carry more than that, this may not be the bag for you, but I think 2 setups is more than enough. It's perfect. Like I've said 1,000 times, it's not a roller bag. You're not dragging it through the mud. It goes on your back. And a feature that I really like on the backpack is there are straps on the side, so you can take your gun setup, barrel, tank, loader, a whole nine, set up, strap it to the side, and just head to the field. I keep mine out and about at the house all the time for snapping mirrors and stuff. So then when I'm ready to go play, I just throw it on the side, out the door I go. Love that feature. If you want to pick one of these bad boys up, the website is volcanousa.com. That's volcanousa.com. And the code is Overshot10, and you'll get 10% off your bag or your shirt or your hat or whatever you want to get while you're on the website, man. The guys over there, Carlos and stuff, are really great. Like I said, I love my bag. But last but not least, someone who I'm happy to call a friend, it's Eric and the boys over at Evil Gerbil. Evil Gerbil does custom head wraps and headbands. He does everything by hand. His stuff is truly the best. I only wear his stuff. I can't say enough good things about them. They also do thick, like real tree jerseys too, which I know like a lot of people are getting back into, and they are really cool, especially with the winter coming up here in the Northeast. It's cold. Time to bust out those thicker jerseys, boys. So if you want to go pick one of them up, their website is evilgerbilpaintball.com, and you could Overshot and you'll get 10% off your wrap or whatever else you want to pick up through them, whether it's a hat like I'm wearing right now, or a shirt, or a tech tee, or whatever. You just go to Overshot at evilgerbilpaintball.com and you will get a discount. As always, if you haven't subscribed to this show, please do. It helps us out immensely, whether it's on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I'm sure you want to know who this episode is with. This episode is with Pat Sanelli. He is coach of Seattle Thunder. We do a nice little gear review with him. We talk about, what's going on with the team, because there was big upheaval at the beginning, to what's going on with the future of the team. And more importantly, their performance at World Cup, which I was super impressed with. I thought they played, really well. I'm not going to talk too much about it now because, of course, we get into it in depth in the show. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys. So we are here with Pat Sanelli of Seattle Thunder. He has been on the show before. We talked a lot about his past, and we're really going to be talking about what he's been currently working on. So if you want to go hear more about, his upbringing and stuff like that, go check out the previous episode he was on. It was a lot of fun. And Pat, man, thanks for coming back, dude. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, no problem, man. Happy to be here.
All right, cool, man. So, of course, with World Cup just happening, a ton of stuff. We'll get into all that. I'll have a ton of questions, but you're the coach of Seattle Thunder. You're heavily involved in this year with them and the Bears coming together. There was a lot of changes in the beginning. So I want to know, what were some of the biggest changes you saw from the team from when it started to World Cup?
Probably the biggest change was the unity of the team. We came together very, very quick. We gelled immediately, and that gel just kept on growing and growing all the way to Cup. There was never really any fighting. Of course, there's a few bickering back and forth, but squashed immediately, and it was just move forward, stay together, and keep it pushing.
Yeah, awesome, man. And it really showed towards the end of the season. And just going in with that one more time, what were some of the struggles in the beginning? What were some of the things you thought the team, maybe like at the first couple of events, wasn't doing well at all? And that really turned around at the later events that we were like, all right, we're starting to figure it out.
There really wasn't a struggle for me.
Hmm.
The first practice we were at Damages Field, and hello, face to the name type of scenario, and I'm
Yeah.
horrible with names. So I'm making up nicknames for people, and it's just it's like, what are you doing? You don't know my name? It's like, no. As far as like telling those guys what to do, it was super smooth. Hey, like Patty, run here, no problem. Corey, shoot here, no problem.
That's awesome.
It was all the fears that you think that you would walk into a merger like that.
Right.
Within the first 10 minutes of meeting the guys in the parking lot and the first point, all washed away.
Hell yeah.
All five guys went into the West Coast guys. I mean, went into it open-minded, feel it out a little bit. But like I said, once that gel started to form,
Yeah, that
bond. There was no separating it. The first event, we went 1-3, and we lost every match by 1 point.
Yeah, they're all super close.
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. I have my whole family over.
It's a holiday season, man.
Yeah, and then we just kept on growing and getting better and getting better. We hit a hiccup at Chicago, but then we pulled it right back along for World Cup, and we just fell a little bit short, but it's coming.
Yeah,
it is coming.
No, you definitely saw it, and like you said, as the season it got better. You guys gelled better, and I thought that really came to a point at World Cup making Sunday. I thought putting on a pretty good show again, and of course we'll get into it. But the match you lost, I thought was close. But like I said, let's get into the World Cup talking because there's so much things to talk about. But for you guys, especially the two practices leading up, what were they like for the team? Were they, who did you practice and were they good? Were they bad? Did you guys get rolled?
We never get rolled.
Never.
So the first practice was X Factor, Heat, Infamous, and us.
That's nice.
I would say X Factor. We played a set of 10, so you play 10 points, and then you rotate your team, the teams.
Teams in. That's nice.
I don't exactly remember who we played first. I believe it was Infamous, and we beat them 9-1. Now, granted, Infamous, they were shooting confetti. They couldn't get a single ball to shoot straight. Yeah. I'm literally watching. It was either Taylor or somebody was in the S1 bodies for days, and he couldn't shoot anybody. So that 9-1 victory, we take that with a grain of salt. And I said it at the practice. I'm like, hey guys, don't toot your own horn. These guys was throwing soup at us. So
right.
Then we played X Factor, and I would say they had a little bit. They won by 3, let's just call it. And then we played Heat, and we were even with them. And then that was right around midday where collectively we're like, hey, everybody wants to play this field fast. But if you go here, here, and here, you slow this bitch down.
Yeah, you lock it down. Yeah.
And as soon as we did that, especially against Heat, who were just trying to punch the middle and come to our side,
right,
stopped it. And from that point on, we were winning every set. If we did lose a set, it would only be like by 1 or 2.
Close, right?
Close. The oddball play brings you down a point. You're throwing. But once we locked in our bread and butter play, pretty much, if you watch the DMG game, when the first 2 points, when we're sending a guy to that mini W looking inside, We had two of my runners who are playing back center are shooting and looking to explode out. Once we developed that scenario, we dominated the field, and that was our mindset going into Cup. That if everybody wants to play aggressive, we know how to slow it down, and it showed. Even Rich Telfer called us the best defensive team there. I don't know if that's true or not, but it showed how much defense we were putting up and still winning. And that was our mentality going in. And of course, we had a couple of push plays, but we really didn't develop them. And that was, on me, not developing and running those crash and push and specialty plays because we were just focused on winning the defensive game and then turning it up when we needed to midpoint.
Right. So was that at X Factor Paintball Park this practice?
Yes.
Cool. In general, what did you think of the conditions here? It's a great place. I love hearing people that have been to like crazy nice fields like that. I'm assuming it was beautiful.
Great place. Great field. Bunkers are pristine. It is a nightmare for the New York guys to get there, though. Just for like playing the prices of the flight, the availability for our scheduling and everything. It was I don't want to say last minute, but it was last minute. Okay, we're going. We already booked our tickets. Are we trying to cancel and do something different, or are we going to the airport? It sucked. I do not like flying to that area, but the field is nice. The competition is great.
Yep,
we love playing the Heat guys. Like I would play them. That's it. If I had to pick a team out of the pool, we're playing Heat. There's no fighting. There is a little back and forth. It's squashed immediately, and we're laughing about it. We're sitting right next to each other, like we shot you. No, I shot you. It's just the vibe that we bounce off each other is great. I love the Heat guys. I wish we could play them all the time.
And it's a really good to have a good team to practice. Now, afterwards, do you and Todd like chop it up to a little bit about what had happened, or does that not happen so much?
Not so much with me. Okay. I'm still like the new face, so like Todd will bullshit with the OG Thunder guys and stuff like that,
Corey and whatnot.
I'll joke around, but for the most part, it's I'm not trying to wiggle my way in there. Like if you want to talk to me, come talk to me. I'm not gonna go, rub your back while you're trying to talk to somebody. So
you got enough going on too to worry about as well. So I'm sure you have a million things going through your head.
Right, exactly. So if some crazy bounce shot that they would try in midpoint, or a specialty shot or something along those lines, I'll go up to like George or Tyler, like, hey man, I don't know if you were purposely shooting this bunker, but it worked. Try it again next time we play, and I'll give you the thumbs up and stuff like that. But otherwise, I'm kind of like with my guys at all times, and developing it and getting it going.
Right, just trying to lock it in.
Yeah. The second weekend, we went to AC Dallas and
another trip to Texas for you, huh?
Another trip. That's like the meeting grounds. It's the halfway point. So that airport and that flight, it's beautiful. Yeah, you walk out of the gate, your bag is right there. You walk 200 feet, the car rental's right there. You're on the road. You're done. I love that airport.
Set up way better.
Way better. Where was like 45 minutes to an hour away from the hotel and the field. It's beautiful. There's a great food places right there. I personally like going to AC Dallas.
Food is key.
The teams that were there were Paintball Fit and Notorious were there. I don't believe we played Notorious. We played Fit, and we've played them throughout the year. And I like the Fit guys. They're awesome dudes, respectful, just awesome guys all around. Diesel guys too. Good guys. I love the facility. It's
That the facility
really,
there, I heard is
yeah, it's beautiful. It's so Quick Shot would be the closest thing up here
yeah.
uh, to Paintball Fit with the lights and the bird box, so you can go up there and walk around and
Watch.
everything. Yep.
What
That's so nice.
what's funny is Quick Shot was like modeled after PV Fit.
There you go. So, and I can tell you right now, for playing under the lights, it is a little taxing on your eyes. You got to,
Yeah.
with the
Adjust.
balls and the adjust. But if you can get like a bright shelled paint and the lights are, on and powerful enough to actually play under, it is awesome. It's an eerie feeling, but it's awesome.
No, dude, that's sick. And so how did that practice go for you guys? Was it again? Did you kind of do a 10-point system? How did they win practice there? Was it different?
So we pretty much at Cup. Normally we PB Fit mixes in with us, but for the Cup one, it was basically just Diesel. I think we played Fit maybe once.
Okay.
Each day, if that, I might be mistaken, but it was very low pointage against Fit. We played Diesel both days, all day. And it was a little bit back and forth. And then there would be gaps where we dominated, and there'd be gaps where they dominated, and then we'd go back and forth. They try to go more middle aggressive, honest, and we started to develop ways of shutting that down. One would be going to that baby Dorito and shooting inside to stop that guy from wrapping the wall. Another one would be the back center guy just trains on that section of the wall that he wants to wrap on. So once we started to figure out like what they were trying to do and ways to stop it, but maintaining our game plan, we started to turn the tables again on. So it was between the 2 weekends, it was constant adjusting. And once we adjusted, we took over the practice. And then they would adjust and then like, ooh, that's a nice little, nice little move that Rainey just had. How do we capitalize on that? And then we just tweak it, and then we incorporate it, and then we just keep going.
No, and it seems like from what you were saying that it's different weekends gave you guys different looks too, which I'm sure was nice. You kind of got a feel, kind of how like multiple ways the field could be played. Had to be helpful.
Right. Yeah. He was trying to do more of a double crash up the middle. Diesel was more of a one-person crash on the snake side. X Factor was trying to play the D side tower that was up the field at like the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
They were trying to use that in their plays, and then Infamous was just all over the place. Like even at World Cup, trying to scout them, I'm like, I'm not going to scout them because one person did the same thing repeatedly, And it was just like, all right, they're just going caution to the wind and running. We'll just stick with our deep defensive play, which turned out not to work for the first 3 points. We had to go. We call grenade for grenade, and once we started doing that, the tables turned, and then like, oh, okay, like they're doing this type of offense, but we're gonna go this type of offense, and we made it work. It was a tight one. It was probably one of the better games that me and Scott coached, and that game will stick with me for a while.
Yeah, we'll get into it because that was exciting to even to watch. But I mean, we've covered the weekend, so let's just get into the event. Did you guys practice any? I mean, well, with the weather, were you guys able to practice anyone at the field, or was that not able to happen because of the hurricane?
So we got in super early. I believe we had a 2-hour practice schedule. I don't really remember the dates, but let's say time. Let's say it was midday. We played Energy for an hour. Nice and soft, nothing too crazy. We weren't running anywhere. We were just 5 guns up, run gun to your spots, take it easy. Because those divisional fields, let me tell you, whoa. I mean, whoa. There were cliffs on that D side. Like So I think one guy asked me to run to the Dorito corner, and I'm like, "Do you not see what's out there?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm not running to the Dorito corner." I'm like, "Yeah, exactly." It started to rain right at our hour period where we were going to go into that second hour,
Okay.
and we played a few more games, and it was just like, let's call it,
Yeah.
And I believe an hour later, it buckets. It just came
Yeah.
down like so. We called it pretty much at a good time, able to de-gear, run around, get signed in real quick, and then hightail it the hell out of there.
Yeah, to lock down. So on a Thursday, then I mean a lot of team bonding. Did you guys do like what did the team
Yeah.
do?
So it was, breakfast at the house. We got an Airbnb as everybody usually does.
Right.
A few. Sorry, I'm tired. Can't talk. A few movies, and then Robbie Altamore. Everybody who knows Robbie knows that he needs to go hunting for statues. So, whoever wants to go, we pile up in the cars and we jump to different comic book stores looking for Spider-Man statues. They got to be resin. They got to be legit. No Fugazi stuff. And that's what we did. We did that for I want to say 3 hours. Just jumping from comic book store to comic book store looking for stuff. And we found some really good ones. He didn't buy any, unfortunately. He should have. Dragged me out for 3 hours. You see something cool and you don't buy it. Oh, that's the space. I don't want to hear that. You buy the thing, let's leave.
Yeah, right.
So that's what we did. Go back to the house, dinner, movies, joke around. So we're always bonding. If it's a good neighborhood, we will go for walks. We'll just walk the neighborhood. Whoever wants to go, again, just walk and bullshit and talk. I don't know where we were in Florida for a practice or something like that, and we walked. Wow, it seemed like forever, but it was only like a half an hour. But it felt like forever.
Yeah.
So we're always on the move. If we're awake, we're this room is chilling. All right, so this room goes to that room, chilling. All right, hey, we're gonna go for a walk. We're gonna go comic books. Statue hunting. We're always mingling together. Some of the guys have to work while they're at the events, so they don't really get to do the walks and the drives and everything, which is unfortunate because you want everybody to go
together.
Where you're going. So we're always gelling, mixing it up, bullshitting, trying to do something fun.
Nah, that's super important, I think.
Yeah, it is. Without the bond, you're not trusting the guy behind you or front of you. You've got to develop that bond. So then that's what we do, and it comes natural to us. Like, hey, we're going out. Get in the car. Like, no, I'm tired. Like, are you sleeping? No. Oh, get in the car. We're going.
Right.
So
we're going to eat. Get in.
We're going to eat. Get in.
All right, cool. Finally, I mean, after 20 minutes, let's get into a game one. Pretty sure it was Damage. DMG, sorry. And yeah, I mean, you guys ended up coming with a win, but it was close, a little bit rough in the beginning. So kind of walk us through how that match went through your eyes.
You watching the same match? Because we mercied them.
Did you guys lose the first two though?
Negative.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
3-0, baby.
That was infamous. Okay, right.
That was infamous. So the first game, of course, you get for me, you get the little jitters.
Yeah, of course.
Once the horn goes, though, the jitters are gone. And we did not on purpose, but we did a 2-line format for that match. It just kind of happened natural for me. So basically, line one, even though I don't like doing line one, line two, the blue team went out there and they did the defensive play as we talked about, and it worked flawlessly. We spun them. They won again. That one was a little bit tight, if I remember. We were down bodies. It was Patty, Jared, and Robbie pulling out a 4-on-3 or 5-on-3. I literally just watched it before we went on the webcast, and I can't remember it. But it was a low body situation. They pulled it out. And then the next 2 points was the green team. It had, Scotty Graham and more of the West Coast guys went out there. And that was more of our up the field aggressive play, if you want to call it, where we sent one guy up the middle to the wedge or to the can or to the wall, heads up on the Dorito side, and play it by ear on the snake side, because that snake side for us on the pro level was very hard to get out. Off the break, mid game, it was very hard to get past that juice box. And they won convincingly. So we spun them again. They went out. They handled business again. And then, so we gave them a rest. And then we brought the blue team back out. And, and everything just worked in our favor on that match. And, we, the counter punch, that guy went here, I should be here. I'm not coming off my zone until I know that you made it to that spot. It was perfect paintball by the players to a T. I couldn't be more happier than watching that match. It was an awesome game. Perfect execution of where you should be at what time, zone control, everything. It was a great game.
Yeah, no, you guys. So you closed that game nice and sharp. And
Yes.
your next match, I think you said, was against Infamous, right?
Ironman.
Oh,
where are your notes, man? Where are your notes?
Bro, because I watched it a couple of times. I get my games confused. But you
That's
guys played Iron Man.
Yes. We played Iron Man.
Maybe you're looking at the old schedule, the first schedule.
No, because you know what? I watched some days twice too, dude. So I'm all fucked up.
That's all right. I'm just busting your balls. So we play the Iron Man, and I know Keith DeVitt and Nita and all the old Hurricane guys. So it was
from this area, yeah.
Yeah, and there was also a Target out there. That Target knows who he is. So we played them. We went up a good amount of points. I think we had a 3-point spread on them, and then they started to come back on us. And a few minor adjustments. Me and Scott worked it out. A few minor adjustments of players and what play to run because of what they're doing to climb the ladder. And once again, all the guys played great. For the people that didn't, were just having a bad few points, jumped right in the pit. No bullshit. They were team players all around, potting, helping each other out. When their number was called, they didn't hesitate. They went out there and they did it. It was perfect paintball athlete personnel that we had during that match. And we won by 2, I believe, or 3, no more than 3. And it was a very good game. I didn't get to rewatch it, but it was, I can't say it enough that the team acted like a team. There was no individuality. It was all together, working together to overcome what was in front of us. And going into the Infamous game, we tried to scout them the night before, and in my head, I'm like, why am I scouting them? I can't tell what they're doing. They're running everywhere. It just didn't matter. Thomas is over there, now he's over here. Fry's over there, now he's over here. They went 1 up the middle, now they're going 2. They're doing a crazy route to get to the snake, and now they're going to the D side. It's just like, all right, stick to my game plan, stick to my plays, and let's do it. So they went up on us, I believe by 3. And then we decided, me and Scott were like, all right, the plays that we were going to live by aren't working. We need to do a personnel change, and we need to do a play change. Otherwise, we're going to get stopped. And once we did that, we won 3 in a row. And then they won. Then Gomez held it out for, what was it, like 30 seconds, a 1-on-2. He was in Dorito, and they were like
Gomez
on our sides.
Doing well.
Gomez, like,
He's a killer.
well, Gomez had a very good dominant. No one's getting this buzzer. And Infamous, instead of going for the buzzer and trying to get the win, they went to go kill Gomez and pretty much ended the game. We had to go to overtime.
Overtime.
Now, this overtime point was a risky one.
Yeah.
We decided to run Patty Gleason out to the corner, which is, like I said, on this level, on this field, was very, very risky. Very risky. And he actually got bounced going to the corner. So he gets bounced. Chaos is happening. He makes it in the snake. Graham is right behind him. The field is kind of going back and forth with the bodies and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, Patty gets out of the snake and decides to run to the Dorito side of the wall. And at this point, my head is just like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? But, a grenade happened on that side of the field. The boys were able to dominate the Dorito side, and they were able to turn the tables, and there was only one guy left in the Dorito corner, and we wound up winning. And once again, like, I can't say it enough. It was the team coming together, not panicking, not getting down on each other, no arguments, no nothing. It's like, all right, they're beating us. How do we beat them? And, after talking with a few of the players and with Scott, come up with a play, draw some squiggly lines on the paper, and then the boys executed it, and we went and we won 3-0. And that was another, like I said before at the beginning, that game will never leave my head. I might not, I'll be fuzzy with the point spread and all this other nonsense, but watching the boys like just punch and the alteration of the plays was great. It was a very fun game to coach.
No, dude, super exciting to watch. So going into the overtime point, like, what is being said in the pits? Are people trying to hype each other up? Is it super calm, cool, collected? You're really just trying to like read the guys their jobs? What's kind of going on there?
So over the course of the year, the energy level was kind of like all over the place. An intense conversation over here between these two, a quiet conversation with those two. This guy, for some reason, likes to walk out of the pit and then disappear and then come back in. It's just like a little chaotic.
Yeah.
As the year went on, and me and Scott started to be like, hey guys, like, listen, calm, cool, and collective. Have your talks. Come back to me because I don't want to chase you all over the pit.
Right.
Get you guys going. For the most part, at Cup, it was lights out in the pit. It was okay. Like, what do you need? Here you go. Hey, you doing good? Here's your stuff. Go to Pat. The blue team is on. Go to Pat.
Right.
So going into overtime, sure, like, this guy's hyped up. He's like, all right, I want to go here. I can do this. And it's just like, all right, I believe you. You're in, but you're not doing that because that's crazy. So back up for a second. I believe Scotty Graham and Gleason, I don't remember if it was that game or a different game, both came over to be like, I want to go to snake off the break. And I'm like, no. Like, no. You're playing, but you're not going there. So me and Scott took a risk. And we decided to send Patty Gleason to the corner. And
that was a ball. People were dying doing that run all day.
Exactly. Like, if you watch the pro games, like going anywhere past that juice box, man, you don't see it a lot. I've watched 2 games so far. DMG did it once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was because hard. They were down 5-0. What was I saying? Yeah, so we sent him to the corner. He gets bounced. And like I said, the events unfolded and it came to our favor. But it was a risky move, and paintball is a risk, man. If you can do anything. You can step there and get shot. You can look that way and get shot. Like, it's all about, are you feeling it? Is your gut telling you that this is going to work? And I guess my gut was half right because he got bounced, but it paid off in our favor.
Yeah, dude, it worked, right? That's all that matters.
It worked. We got the W. So what was next? So now Uprising's next.
Yep.
A little grudge match. You know, we had that
Seattle and Seattle action going on.
Seattle and Seattle. The West Coast guys have I guess it's a friendly rivalry with them, and the East Coast guys developed into that after the California event. There was a little bit of overshooting after the point, little shooting back and forth, little jib jabber
going on.
Yeah. That was funny. If you guys want to watch something funny, watch the end of that Sacramento event, Thunder versus Uprising. It is pretty funny. Multiple different angles too, if you can find them. I don't think I ever seen a ref just face plant the dirt. It was funny. So you know, we want to win because the West Coast guys want to win. So
right.
We went in there, and it was a battle. You know, it was back and forth. I think it was the first time that the guys came to me and said, "Hey, we can't look out of the back center looking D-way because they're using a bounce shot on us." Now, we found that out in practice, but no one at the event was using it. And it was from back center off of that tower up the field, and it would just come right in on you, and you don't even know about it.
You don't even know, yeah.
So I believe two of our guys back to back, bang, bang, got shot out of it. So, you know, we had to alter the plays a little bit.
They couldn't do that no more.
No. You know, once one guy takes a bounce shot and he tells me, like, hey, like, they're pounding it, I took one. And then I put somebody else in there, and they're like, yo, Pat, I seen it. They were shooting it, bang. All right. No more looking that way. We'll find something else for you to do. So we go down. We come back. We're up a point, and me and Scott were talking, and Scott wanted to run this play, and I didn't fully understand what he wanted to run. So when I was drawing it up, it just on paper it just didn't make sense. You know, we were just running on the same page at that moment. And now, you know, you have anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes to try to work it out and make it work. And it just didn't feel right. So we went out there and we wound up shooting two guys within 10 seconds, but then Jared gets a minor, pack hit going out to the tower. You know, a pack hit is what it is. Right. I didn't give it no thought. We were bound to get a penalty. It just sucks it was on Jared because Jared always has the bad luck with that. So, you know,
Jared's your boy, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. I said if there was two people that had bad luck with those type of penalties, it's Robbie and Jared.
Both your boys.
Both my dudes, for some reason, pack hits just flock to them at crucial moments. Pack hits fly to them, and a canary comes out, and it's just like, what do we do? You know, it's out of their hands. They don't feel it. Like, it was on, you know, if you watch Jared, he has almost a case of paint on his back. It's in, like, the extra pod. You're never going to feel it. So I'm not blaming him at all. It's just that black cloud that follows him and Robbie around, you know. So we shoot two, but then get a minor. They had better position, so they wind up winning the point. We go into overtime now, and we run a mixed play a little bit. And we wind up...
Show them something different.
You know, not too much different, but just a little bit of a tweak to it. Still basic premise, start off defense, explode out, capitalize on their aggressiveness, turn the tables on. And we went body for body. Gomez took the wall and then got shot, but I believe he took a body with him. Now the D side is completely open, and I believe the boys finish it up, and we move on. Another great game to watch. Another game, if I had to be like, hey, you know, Pat, you know, I want to watch paintball. What's a good game for me to watch? And I'm probably going to pick I'm probably going to pick that Infamous game, that Uprising game, and the Heat game from Sacramento. And be like, hey, go watch those 3 games because those are probably one of the best games in coaching wise that we played.
Yeah. No, dude. That and then yeah, you end up going to overtime again in that one, but you
Yep.
guys you guys take it. So after prelims, what do you say to the guys going into the next day to keep not only everybody humble, I guess, but motivated and like just focused, I guess, on the task at hand? What's going on there?
So normally a mixture of kind of like controlling and laid back. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of the scale varies one way or the other for better or worse. This one, it was just, hey guys, even from the practices, I'm like, guys, we're just having fun right now. You know, after Chicago, where the scale went to too much control and it just didn't work out and the house blew up pretty much. I was just like, you know what? No more tension. No more tension. Yeah. Everybody just relax and go have fun. And it got to the point at practice where the guys are like, hey, what's the play? What's the play? I'm like, I don't know. Go make it at the box. Here's 5 guys. Let's go.
Yeah, make it work.
You know, show me what you want me to put on the paper, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So all throughout Cup, it was like, guys, let's just have fun. Just have fun. Let's just play together, stay together, believe in each other, and just go have fun. And that was the motto. I didn't give any big speech. There was no like big, long team meeting. There was just like, guys, super relax. Let's just have fun and ride the Nick Cristiano roller coaster right now.
You know, I love Nick. He's a good dude. That was funny.
Yeah, I love Nick too. The roller coaster.
All right, cool. So everyone gets to sleep. We wake up. It's Sunday morning, man. What are you saying to the guys? Now we're getting ready to play. What are you saying to them to keep them focused, really? Because I feel like it had to have been tough. I feel like people got to be nervous, and there's probably a mixture of people that are overhyped. You're saying like Patty strikes me as one of those guys that's just as like ready to get shot out of a cannon. You almost have to rein him in a little. What's it like balancing like the dude that wants to walk off and the dude that wants to play at 5:30 in the morning? You know.
Well, I could tell you, dealing with Robbie, from a wee lad to where he is now, you're ready for anything. That dude, that guy wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, showered, gear on, watching Spider-Man cartoons, ready to go. You know, so from dealing with that and Jared and all the boys, you know, it kind of develops you for
early morning.
The early morning chaos. But I got to correct you again about Patty. Patty looks like he can just run into a pride of lions and just walk out with several pelts on, you know?
Yeah.
But he is really laid back, real humble, a genuine, nice guy. Like, there have been plenty of times where, you know, I've seen Corey snap at him, not a peep at him. Just, okay, whatever. Keep it moving. You know, so his energy level is like, all right, I'm in my zone. I'm doing my stretches. I'm doing my power workouts. And then I'm ready. Call my name. I'm going. You don't call my name, screw you, but okay. You know, the guys are pretty relaxed. You know, a few of them do their little jog real quick. A few of them have to go to the bathroom 100 times.
That's me.
You know, but there's no like, all right, hey, like simmer down. They're in their mindset. They did what they needed to do, like off camera, let's say.
Yeah.
And then they're ready to go. There's no toxicity in the pit. There's no overbearing hyperness or dark cloud when we're getting ready in the pit or nothing. You know, everybody is there and they got each other's back throughout the year. And I'm fortunate enough to know these guys and to be a part of that, because I've been a part of the complete opposite side of the scale where it's just like, dude, I'm going to kill you if you don't shut your mouth. Like,
Yeah.
please, like, what are you doing right now? It's
Yeah, where
What
you've been
team was
like
that?
overly frustrated.
no
What team was
names,
that?
no names, Waldo, no names.
And well, before
Well,
we
we
talk
haven't
about the
coached
game,
too many teams, so people can look it up.
Mm. Mm.
all right, I'm gonna start talking now before we get in trouble. So one more question I want to ask is that, so now that you've played, the first 2 days, and you've put a lot of games on tape per se, is there any thought to change your game plan going into Sunday? Or were you just like, dude, if we execute the fucking plan, nobody can stop us?
Pretty much on this field, you really couldn't do much as far as how do I put this? You could be aggressive and crazy, but if you didn't make it work, you're losing that point.
Yeah, it was devastating.
You know, if you couldn't follow up off of the grenade you chucked by whatever a run through in the middle, either side or whatever the case may be, if you didn't follow it up, you're not going to win that point. Because if you throw my grenade, okay, we're 4-on-4, 3-on-4. You still have to come through me, and I just watched our boys win a 3-on-4.
Right.
Two of the guys were in the mini W. On this field, it was if you were disciplined and you knew your shots and you knew where you needed to be, you can pull out those low body situations, which we did at practice, at the event, etc. The thing that bit us in the ass, though, is if you are down on points, like, for instance, okay, so let's move on to the Tauntaun game.
Yeah.
The first point, it was defense against defense. It was we got down to like the 10-minute mark, and Robbie and Jared were on the D side. They got out wide. They tried to make something happen, and the both of them got shot, and we lose that point. All right, whatever. 1 point, 10 minutes left, no big deal. The next point, instead of the Tauntauns coming at us, they went straight defense again. And it's like, all right, now we need to shoot these guys before they make their defensive spots, because if they make their defensive spots and we're going defense against defense because we don't want to get shot going wide, it's very hard to get out.
Yeah.
You got to win your gun battle. But if they're not giving you the gun battle, which the East Coast guys live for, they're just shooting the gaps, and some of these gaps are, you're blind to it. The game bogs down. You saw it at the event. They had a 15-minute point or 14-minute point or whatever it was.
Right.
So we tried to shoot key players. We tried to shoot the 3-1 guy, because he's the guy who's going to stop us from wrapping the W. We bounced him 4 out of the 5 times we bounced him.
Oof.
Different people, different guns, still bouncing this guy. We decided to shoot for the backs, on that, shoot that guy. All right. And then player number 2, you're going to shoot for the back center guy. We're bouncing the back center guy. It's like, all right, well, not only do we have a good team against us, now the paint is working against us.
Yeah.
So, so it really came down to, how are we going to break this defensive structure that we know that can win you the game? And we tried to throw the grenades. I think we got 1 point out of it. And then, the time was just whittling down, and we just didn't have enough time and ability, because of this field, to find holes that would make it work.
Right.
And especially when we're bouncing key people off the break that we've been shooting the entire tournament, it hurt. And, unfortunately, the paintball guys were like, you're losing to the French. That's
not today. Not today.
But
no, truly unfortunate that very similar styles, and you guys just did not have the time to really crack it the way you crack their armor the way you needed to.
Yeah, you can look back on it and say, oh well, if we had more time, but it just if your shots are on and you're still bouncing the guy repeatedly, and you just can't get a lucky ball to get a key to get any of them because every spot they were taking was straight defense.
Yeah.
And there was covering a good zone that you needed to have a buddy help you to break it. And you couldn't get that buddy out because the other player, number 3 on the enemy side, was on that zone and you needed help to get through it. They played the field how we wanted to play it. They just went up that 1 point on us and we had to climb the hill and they just said no.
And sometimes it's that close, right, man?
And sometimes it's that close. So we wound up finishing 7th and we finished 6th overall for the year.
But still, that, did you guys, you should be super proud of that. I mean, I know from
Super proud.
just even knowing some of those guys, I was super juiced for them.
So yeah, look at all the the other teams. Not to throw any shade anywhere, all right. These teams have made Sunday, all good players, but energy level, the Saints, the Ironmen, they merger of a good amount of people onto their squad, new coaches, new area, new this, new that. Which one of them was consistent throughout the year?
Right.
None of them.
You guys. None of them. It was you guys.
Ironman had a great Sacramento event.
Yeah, they had one event. Yeah.
I think they were all in talks of relegation throughout this year, but
and then the second place saved them. Not once again, not throwing any shade. The only team that was in that scenario of a merger, knew this, knew that, and that was consistent throughout the year, and that were taking out big names was my guys.
Yeah,
and that shows with a good mentality, a good attitude, and just an all-around good vibe. You can make something that on paper shouldn't work in real life.
Hell yeah.
And I'm super proud to be a part of these guys. I love all of them. Magic Mike, without him, none of this is possible. So shout out to Magic. And I'm really looking forward to next year. And man, if we can keep this going, we're going to be a problem.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys are going to be a force.
Yeah. It's going to be getting chills.
I mean, you kind of already answered that in what you just said, but all said and done, vibes going into next season's high, right? Nobody was kind of let down, right? It seems like everyone wants to run this shit back, right?
Everybody wants to run it back, Map has a big restaurant thing going, so we don't know what his status is. Gucci Man, that's Sakaguchi. Remember, I give everybody nicknames. Gucci Man has his restaurants going off. Patty and Go-Go are having kids. Corey is building trenches out in wherever he is, Seattle, Oregon. All of them said they want to come back.
Let's go.
I want all of them back. Magic is still on board. The only thing that we're changing is the name.
I didn't know if we were going to say anything or
heard
not.
That.
But
I didn't want to say anything either.
Yeah. So that's real?
That is real.
All right, cool. Any are we about to break news right now, or we're gonna have to wait and have you back on to tell us what the name's gonna be?
I mean,
we know. I know.
I know, but I want him to say it.
I'll keep it under wraps, but the name is changing.
It's a good excuse to have you back on to talk about it.
Yeah, I've been begging to come back on, but that's this week. Next week can be completely different. We might go
the West Coast Grizzlies.
Yeah, the West Coast Grizzlies. Yeah, that's not a bad name actually. West Coast Grizzlies.
Dude, a lot of people steal my names all the time. So I don't know. I was told I wasn't the one that came up with the Brooklyn Cubs, but I think I did. But
See,
yeah,
I love those guys. Love them all. Beaver Hansen, all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Cubs. Just not a fan of it.
you know what? I wanted to do a team with Magic Mike's son and call it the Brooklyn Cubs. That's the only thing that's what I said to Magic one day. And then all of a sudden they were the Brooklyn Cubs and I was like, came up with that name.
The
Came up with
jerseys
it.
look sick. I
They
like
look
the
Yeah, not
jerseys. I
bad.
just some reason, just my personal pet peeve. Cubs just don't do it for me.
Because
But
it's like the junior squad, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
yeah,
the baby squad.
yeah, the baby squad. Yeah.
But all right, before we get Pat in too much trouble, again, dude, thank you for coming and chilling with us. And dude, give us a shout out to all the sponsors and stuff that helps you guys throughout, especially that fantastic paint in those last 2 points there.
Yeah. You set me up for that one. Huh? So I got to thank GI. No matter where we go, no matter what field we're at, they're there with our stuff, and it does shoot good when it shoots good. Carbon, big shout out to Carbon.
Their stuff is awesome.
Carbon goggles, their backpacks, their clothing. Wow, you're drawing a blank. You hit me with the sponsors. Snake, Sandana. God thanks Sandana. Sickest head wraps out. I don't care about your Harnesses nonsense. It's all the same shit. I'm drawing a blank. Weapons. Tom Martinez. I'm still waiting for my jerseys, but that's all right because they're fly. All the gear. The Supersonic throwback Thunder gear is sick. I wish you would have more in stock, but you can order it online. Shocker amps, the Tech 9 of the paintball world. Those things are sick.
Tech 9.
The Tech 9s, yo. You want a little SMG out there, cap and bodies? Those guns are lights out. Super easy to work with. They shoot just as good as the Lux. Air efficiency on them is top notch. And this is not hyping them up or nothing. I love Lux. I love Shocker. You would have to pay me to shoot something different, and it has to be worth more than what's in my hand because those guns are sick.
Yeah, no, they shoot really good, man.
I love Lux from my old school OLED to now the TM40s, the Shocker amps, sick. You want a gun? I'm recommending that. What else?
Hell yeah.
What else is out there?
What do you use for hoppers?
Using Virtue. You might have to cut that out. I don't remember.
Mike Newman.
Maybe.
Newman. If you're in the West Coast, up by Seattle and Oregon, please go to Diamond.
Corey's
Diamond
place.
Edge Paintball Park. Corey's Fields putting a lot of work into it. Airball fields. I believe is setting up a hyperball field. It's brick cold up there, but please give him some love. Don't tell him I sent you because he'll probably kick you out. But if you're down by me on Long Island and you want to play some serious Call of Duty, please hit up High Vibe Paintball. The best scenario field out there. I love James. I wish you would get turf on this field, but if you want to play Call of Duty,
they need to do something, bro. Long Island needs something, dude. I can't do everything, but I tried, dude. I tried, bro.
Yeah,
We've all tried, man. It's not gonna happen. We've all tried.
What do you mean you tried? You tried to buy a place?
No, I've tried to put turf at high velocity.
We all have.
That's not That's not trying, dude. I tried to buy a place so we could have a field, dude. That's trying. You saying something that James is like a waste of time, to be honest with you. But I love James to death, but it's a waste of time.
Yeah. I would that would be the home.
That's like saying something to Paul Saller. That's also a waste of time.
Yeah.
But anyway,
paintball on Long Island has 2 roadblocks. Until those 2 roadblocks figure out what to do, everybody's going to be going to Connecticut from Matt's Outback to Battle Creek, Straza, LLP, and now Quick Shot. I haven't been there yet. I know Waldo's the TSXL.
Thank you for repping.
Yes, big rep. Is going there. They moved their venue to there. The place looks amazing.
It's so nice.
We might have to set something up with that guy. You know, so please, if you know, grab a friend, grow the sport, keep the sport alive by going to your local fields and keep on growing. Buy Seattle Thunder, Brooklyn Bears merchandise. Keep our team going. And just keep it going, man. I love the sport. I love the people in it. I love you guys. All my friends are from paintball. It's just don't know if I just love the sport, and I just want to see it go higher and higher and higher.
Absolutely,
dude. Hell yeah!
I couldn't say it better myself, man.
Dude, right? That seems like a perfect spot to end it, man. So, like you said, go check out Corey at Diamond Hill, or come to High Velocity, and you might see, Pat or myself there,
doing
playing.
drills, doing drills, and for a new player or any player, if you see a pro or someone you think's a pro, 9 times out of 10, if you ask them to help you with something, they're going to help you with it. So
Dude,
do not be starstruck. We're just normal guys, and we love helping other people out as long as you're not interfering with our practice. Right. So please get engaged, come out, and play the game.
Hell yeah!
So if you see anyone in a Spider-Man outfit,
don't talk to Spider-Man's bad. Boo,
Spider-Man.
Boo.
Well, Spider-Man will teach you the ways.
That guy is not nice. That guy wearing a Spider-Man outfit, not a nice guy. Don't go over there.
He should have bought the statue. He should have bought the statue when he was out.
Should have bought the statue. Sick statue. I don't have the room. 3 hours you got me in the car. You're not going to buy the statue. It's one of a kind. 1 of 40. Blah, 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 blah. All this other nonsense. 3 hours in the car in the rain. Hurricanes whipping down trees and stuff. You're not going to buy it because you don't got no room. Oh, God. I want to kill
Shout out to Hurricane Nicole, baby.
I want to kill him.
I was there.
Spider-Man, we love you. You guys, will catch all you guys on the next episode. And like you said, if you want to come see us, come check us out at the field. Peace, guys.
Later.